Okay, I thought we changed the order or something. Great, thank you. Good morning, dear friends, and welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship at Stony Brook. I welcome you who are here in our sanctuary and all who are attending virtually. Wherever you may be this morning, my name is Vivian Valoria Fisher, and I'm happy to be your worship associate this morning. Our minister is the Reverend Dr. Madelyn Campbell, and our Director of Religious Education is Deb Little. Please plan to join us after the service for coffee and conversation. For those who are with us online, if you sign off after the service and return to our website, you will find the link for joining our small group chats. Whether here or online, you will find some friendly folks who can answer any questions you may have. I have several announcements this morning. Number one, please be sure to check your email for the official notification of a second congregational meeting that will take place later this month on Sunday, June 18th. The full announcement can be read in your announcement insert. Number two, the Board of Trustees invites the members and friends of the congregation to join us for a cookout on June 11th after the service. The purpose is to celebrate all of you who have given of your time and talents to make the fellowship sustainable. There will be hot dogs, hamburgers, and veggie burgers provided by the Board of Trustees. If you would like to bring a side or salad, drinks, or dessert, please contact Charlie Posey. If you have never had McNulty ice cream, you're in for a treat. You know, a little east of us here? A Sunday cart will be at the cookout to help celebrate our volunteers. We look forward to seeing you there. Number three, UUFSB will have a UU Women's Potluck Dinner, which is scheduled for Friday, June 16th at the Fellowship. Details are in your announcement insert. Number four, if you would like to take home some blue irises, see Barbara Coley after today's service. These lovely flowers continue to proliferate in Barbara's garden, and she would like to share them with you, especially since the original crop was given to Barbara by Edith Gordon. Wonderful Edith Gordon. Number five, ironically, in order to dedicate more time to worship during Sunday services, beginning July 2nd, we will no longer be doing announcements from the pulpit. Watch the printed bulletins for all announcements. If you have an announcement to include in the bulletin, please send it to Susan in the office before the Wednesday before the service. I thought I had written before twice, but. And number six, that's all, folks.
Oh, my soul. Come, let us enter into this space made holy by our presence. Let us enter into this hour made holy by our intention. Let us enter into this garden, curated by our very hands, but grown with a spark of the divine, reminding us of the beauty of creation. Come, enter in. Let us worship together.
I have asked June Chaverny to light the chalice this morning. The flaming chalice is the symbol of Unitarian Universalism. We kindle the flame of our faith in the cup of the covenant. As the ground nourishes the roots, may this cup nourish our souls, keeping us grounded. As the flame rises like a flower, spreading beauty and light for all to see, our first hymn this morning is number 8, Mother Spirit, Father Spirit, written by the founder of the flower ceremony, Norbert Čapek. You'll read them before you begin. Find your pages. Reverend Čapek founded the Unitarian Church in Prague, which is where he celebrated the first flower ceremony on June 4th, 1923. The Prague Church sings this hymn to begin the service when they celebrate the flower ceremony. I invite you to rise in body or spirit and join in singing our first hymn, number 8, Mother Spirit, Father Spirit. Our meditation this morning is found in the hymnal number 723. This is a prayer written by Reverend Norbert Čapek, specifically for the flower ceremony. We have revised some of the gender binary language. In the name of Providence, which, and if you are opening to it, I'll wait a second. In the name of Providence, which implants in the seed of the future of the flower and in our hearts the longing for people to live in harmony. In the name of the highest, in whom we move and who makes the mother and father, the brother and sister, lover and loner what they are. In the name of sages and great religious leaders who sacrificed their lives to hate the coming of the age of mutual respect. Let us renew our resolution, sincerely to be real siblings, regardless of any kind of bar which estranges us from each other. In this holy resolve, may we be strengthened, knowing that we are God's family, that one Spirit, the Spirit of love, unites us, and endeavor for a more perfect and more joyful life. Amen. We will have 1 minute of silence, followed by Spirit of Life, number 123. When my two oldest children were 5 and 3 years old, and my son Chris was turning 3 that spring, we took a walk around the property and we looked at the flowers. And as we looked at the flowers, I wrote a poem, and I named it Ceres Children. Ceres is the goddess of farming and agriculture in the Roman mythology. In Greek, it's Demeter. Ceres Children. In spring, I see my children rise out of their winter's rest, dressed up in radiant splendor. They're decked out in their best. Tulips line up straight and tall, elegant as a black tie ball. They do a mother proud. My daffodils in pretty frocks, showing off your golden locks around the garden crowd. But oh, my exuberant forsythia, my forsythia, your arms outspread in wild abandon, wave freely to father, son. I hold your feet fast close to me for fear you'll jump up, dance, and run.
100 years ago today, this very day, the Reverend Norbert Čapek celebrated the first flower ceremony at the Unitarian Church in Prague. We are celebrating 100 years of the flower ceremony today. But why do we do it? Why did he do it? Why has this been a tradition that has lasted so long? What gives it its staying power? Well, and what does it all mean? Reverend Čapek noticed all the beautiful blooms on the hillsides in Prague and thought it would be a wonderful thing to bring those flowers into the worship service, into the sanctuary, to celebrate the beauty of the flowers, to celebrate beauty. Can it ever be wrong to celebrate beauty? Do we all need a little bit more beauty in our lives? Is there anybody here who doesn't need any more? You're full up, you don't need any more beauty in your life? No, we all could use more beauty. But it took on a deeper meaning. We still have that beauty thing going, but Reverend Norbert Čapek was a vocal opponent of the Nazis, a vocal proponent of human rights. And for his crimes, he was interred in a concentration camp where he died during World War II. He died for his cause. He died for human rights, for justice in the world. Now, I can't help but notice that it's June, and it's also Pride Month. Happy Pride. But today, our struggles are just as real as Norbert Čapek's. The struggles for human rights, for marginalized individuals, for immigrants. By the way, friends, it is not illegal to seek asylum in the United States. Immigrants, people of color, LGBTQ people, particularly trans people right now, are physically under attack. People are not safe. In Norbert Čapek's time, people were not safe. And so we celebrate the flowers today. See, it's all going to come back to the flowers. We celebrate the flower ceremony today to bring in beauty, to remind us that we are surrounded by beauty and that we can create beauty. Can we create beauty? Yes, we can. Can you create beauty? Can you? I really can't hear you. Can you? Okay. But we also celebrate it to remember Norbert Čapek, a true Unitarian. It was before the merger. He wasn't Unitarian Universalist, but a true Unitarian martyr. Now, when we celebrate and remember the life of a martyr, we do that best by continuing that person's work. So I want you to consider these flowers. These are the flowers that many of you brought in this morning. Aren't they gorgeous? Now, I'd step down there to show you, to hold some up, but I think the tech team might not be happy with me if I did that. So I'm just gonna, I can do it. I can go down here and I'm gonna come back up, but I wanna show you that we have tiny little blooms. Big, tall stems with lots of teeny tiny flowers. Massive peonies. massive peonies, delicate little multi-petaled mums, deep purple irises. You know, people who love purple, they really love purple, yeah? We really love purple, yeah. Tiny little baby's breath. Fragrant roses, but you know what roses come with? Thorns, right? I don't even know what these are, but they're gorgeous. They're like, somebody's going to tell me what they are? Oh, these are also roses. These are special roses that I haven't seen before. They're gorgeous. Little flowers, big flowers, fragrant flowers. Flowers that have no fragrance but certainly are gorgeous. Some flowers bloom early. You know, we don't have any snowdrops here or daffodils. Why? Because they're done, right? They come up right away. Sometimes crocuses come up through the snow sometimes. They come up and then they're gone. Some flowers are just blooming now. Some things are going to bloom later in the summer even. Some bloom a long time. Some appear in a burst of glory and then go away, right? And we're like that. We make up this garden. We are people of all different varieties, different colors, blooming at different times. Our blooms last for different times. Some of us are a little thorny, right? But we still add to the beauty of the garden. What a sad garden we would have if we said we can only have things that are straight and rigid, or we can only have things that are big and expansive, or we can't make hybrids and have new things growing and have different varieties of the flowers. Like the flowers, we come in many different ways. And like the flowers, we must protect the most vulnerable among us. When there is an unexpected frost of legislation making it illegal for people to be who they are, we must protect those flowers. We must protect our garden. Beloveds, I look at this garden, and I look at this garden, and those of you who are joining from afar, which is another type of garden, and I see such beauty and such potential. And I think we can truly build the beloved community. We can make the garden that we want to be. Are you with me? Yes. Can we do this in the name of Norbert Čapek and continue his work? Yes. All right. Well then, beloveds, namaste.
To share our offering plate with an organization working for a more just future. For the month of June, the recipient is the Kids Hangout. The Kids Hangout is a program for LGBTQIA+ youth and allies entering grades 7 to 10 in the fall of 2023. The goal of the program is to offer a free one-week experience during the summer, during which these young people can have fun, make friends, and feel safe. It was started in the spring of 2022 by our Director of Religious Education, Deb Little. Kudos, Deb. And two colleagues from Setauket Presbyterian Church. It is not a religious program, but it is a program that has been supported by both churches. Now we are growing. The Kids Hangout provides monthly opportunities for the youth to gather in addition to the one work experience in the summer. You all know about the hate being directed at this community right now, and you all know that we have been a welcoming congregation for years. So please, give generously to this important program. Please contact Deb if you have any questions. Please give generously in support of the fellowship and this worthwhile organization. You may make your gifts on the plate or online. For those online, the link to donate is in the chat box. The offering will now gratefully be received.
Thank you, choir. That was absolutely beautiful. Go and get the kids now. Get the kids now. Ooh. Will you join me in dedicating our offering? The words are in your order of service. To the work of our faith, which is weaving a tapestry of love and action, we dedicate our lives and these our offerings. Amen. Now I'm going to tell you a little bit more about what we're doing today. It doesn't say that in your order of service, but you know, when I was planning this service out and discussing Deb Little what time the children should come in, I forgot that I had also moved the time for all ages to the end, so we're going to wait for the children before we begin the actual flower ceremony. They're on their way. But while we're waiting for them, I wanted to let you know that, because today is the 100th anniversary of the flower ceremony, many, many, many other UU congregations are celebrating this service today. We moved it. I understand this congregation's practice has been to do it at the last big service before GA, before the summer, right? But we moved it because today is the 100th anniversary, and how cool is that, right? Now, it does mean that when you stay for the annual meeting today, that your flowers are going to be, you're still going to have your flowers, but you can put some wet paper towels on them, and there's some aluminum foil if you want in the kitchen. But many people gathered resources for months, so maybe almost a year, to put together so that we could all share certain elements if we wanted and pull different elements for this service. So how cool is that it's not just us doing this today, but UUs across the globe. I imagine they're probably doing it in Prague today too. Well, it's a little later there already, so they probably did it today in Prague also, right? But this is something that has endured and is so uniquely ours and ties us to so many other Unitarian Universalists. Now, are the children on their way? I believe so. Okay, we're waiting for the waiting for the children so that they can participate in the flower ceremony as well. Our youth sprinter. So I'm going to talk a little more about the kinds of flowers that people bring. I love that people bring flowers from their own home gardens. But we're not all home gardeners, are we? Some of us do not have a green thumb, it's true. Some of us live in apartments or other places where we cannot have a garden, right? Or maybe we have window boxes or something, or whatever's growing isn't something that's easily shared in this ceremony. I have impatiens growing on my little fence planter, right? Impatiens don't really do well getting cut. But people have found ways to bring flowers no matter what. And here they are. So I'm going to ask June and Laura to collect the flowers from anybody. If you've brought a flower and you haven't brought it forward yet, I'm going to ask June and Laura to collect those flowers, and Deb's going to tell us our time for all ages.
So I'm looking for a seat for you, Gia. Do you want to sit back with? No, you're good? Okay. All right. So, good morning, beloveds. It's a windy, cloudy June day, but our sanctuary is full of flowers. I just want to follow up a little bit on what Pastor Madelyn said during her talking today. And she pointed out that so many people are under attack right now. And I want you to know that some members of this congregation stood on a corner of the Stony Brook campus yesterday and sang love to protesters who were there with their MAGA truck and their hateful rhetoric against immigrants. And some of you wanted to be there and were tied up and had other conflicts, but we should be very, very proud of ourselves, and I hope that as the months progress and as things may get more challenging, that more of you will be on our corners singing love. Our story this morning, this is another telling of the flower ceremony story. Xavier, I'm going to have you sit with your mom. Yeah, that'd be great, thank you. You guys have seats? We got crowded. Okay, so this story is called A Plain and Simple Beauty, and it's from a collection of stories about UU history. In the city of Prague, in the land of Czechoslovakia, in the year 1923, a time between the two world wars, there was a church. But the building did not look much like a church. Some churches have towers with bells, or tall spires that reach to the sky, or massive doors of carved wood, or enormous windows of stained glass. This church had none of these things. It had no bells, no spires, no stained glass, no organ to make beautiful music, didn't even have a piano, had no carvings of wood or statues of stone, no candles, no chalices, no flowers. The church did have some things. It had 4 walls and a ceiling and a floor. It had a door and a few windows. It had some hard wooden chairs. We have softer chairs. But that was all. It was plain and simple, except this church also had people who came to it every Sunday, and they were the most important part of the church at all. Because without people, a church, any church, is just a building. We have a plain and simple church, the people declared, because we are plain and simple people. We need nothing more. This church also had one other very important thing. It had a minister, and as you've heard, his name was Norbert Čapek. He had been the minister at this plain and simple church for 2 years. Every Sunday, he went to church and he spoke to the people while they listened, sitting quiet and still in their hard wooden chairs. When he was done speaking, the people talked a little bit among themselves, and then they went home. And that was all. No music, no candles, no food, no coffee. Minister Čapek had wondered sometimes if there might be something, perhaps just a little bit more of something. He wrote some songs and the people sang them, but nothing else came to his mind, so the church went on as plain and simple as before. Now, springtime came to the city of Prague, and Norbert Čapek went for a stroll. The spring had come, the birds were singing, the flowers were blooming all over the land, and the world was beautiful. Then an idea came to him, simple and clear, plain as the day. The next Sunday, he asked all of the people of the church to bring a flower or a budding branch, a branch of May perhaps, or even a twig. Each person was to bring one. What kind, they asked. What color? What size? You choose, he said. Each of you choose what you like. And so the next Sunday, which was the first day of summer, the people came with flowers of all different colors and sizes and kinds. There were yellow daisies, red roses, white lilies, blue asters, dark-eyed pansies, and light golden leaves. Pink and purple, orange and gold, there were all those colors. The flowers filled all the vases, and the church wasn't so plain and simple anymore. Minister Čapek spoke to the people while they listened, sitting quiet and still on those hard wooden chairs. These flowers are like ourselves, he said, different colors, different shapes, and different sizes, each needing different kinds of care, each beautiful, each important, and each special in its own way. When he was done speaking, the people talked a little bit among themselves. Then they each chose a different flower from the vases before they went home. That was all, and it was beautiful, plain and simple as the day. Amen.
So we're going to do the thing now. We will today, along with Unitarian Universalists all across the country and around the world, we will share our flowers in this uniquely Unitarian Universalist ceremony. Everyone is welcome to partake of the flowers. They are freely given. Don't worry if you didn't remember to bring a flower. There are enough flowers here for everyone. If you did bring a flower but haven't yet placed it in the vases at the front of the sanctuary or in the basket, you are welcome to do that now. You may bring them forward yourself or simply raise them in the air, and June and Laura will collect any flowers that remain out in the congregation. As we exchange the flowers, we will sing the hymns listed in your order of service. These are numbers 78, Color and Fragrance. Number 62, Spring has now unwrapped the flowers. And 63, Spring has now unwrapped the flowers. And number 64, Oh, give us pleasure in the flowers today. We're just going to go one after the other, okay? So we begin then with a consecration of the flowers. This is the consecration also written by Norbert Čapek. It's found in our hymnal number 724. Infinite Spirit of life, we ask thy blessing on these, thy messengers of fellowship and love. May they remind us, amid diversities of knowledge and of gifts, to be one in desire and affection and devotion to thy holy will. May they also remind us of the value of comradeship, of doing and sharing alike. May we cherish friendship as one of thy most precious gifts. May we not let awareness of another's talents discourage us or sully our relationship, but may we realize that whatever we can do, great or small, the efforts of all of us are needed to do thy work in this world. Come and receive the blessing of the flowers.
choice.
Is there anyone who did not get a flower? Oh, get your flower. Beloveds, look, smell, enjoy this beautiful garden that we have created within. If you are wondering, by the way, what people were looking at outside the window, there are baby bunnies out there. Oh, yes, I know. Oh. Okay. So, beloveds, go in peace. Go in love. Go knowing that you are such a vital part of this garden that we make together. Go always in the footsteps of the holy. Amen. And now we extinguish our chalice flame. For our worship has ended, and our service begins. Dan, did you want to say something about this? Oh, the Belford. You're right. You know, thank you for reminding me. Bell.
For all of those out in radio land. So anyway, the congregation and those of you at home are the lead singers. The choir will be your backup singers. The band will play the melody along with the lead singers. The last verse goes up a half a step, but if you don't know what that means, don't worry, just sing along.
For the blessings
annual meeting, right?